What's going on, people? Anybody enjoy that fight out there? That was a great fight. This is KQKC Boxing. Yes, sir. Coming to you with the live chat. Just give you the rundown on the fight tonight, which was great. Close fight, but Sean Porter pulled it out. Yes, he did. Now, let me start off with Danny Garcia. He was hitting Sean with some great thunder shots. A real thunder shot after the first round. Now, I had to give it to Danny. He started off fast for the first time in a long time. But it was more like a tit for tat to me. And what I mean by that is that he was more of I win first round, Sean win the second round, Danny win the third round. The next thing you know, the further they got into the fight, the more Sean got more energy in the fight. So, to me, Danny was the more accurate puncher. Sean was the more busier fighter. Hitting him, talking to him while he hitting him. You know, now, I have to hand it to Sean Porter. Now, he's not my favorite fighter, and I tell you that because of the headbutts, which Danny got, what, one on his nose and one on his head tonight. And I will tell you this, Sean Porter was ready for the fight tonight. He did some studying. He did some study on Danny. They studied him very well, and he came out with the victory. And afterwards, of course, you know who got in the ring? That's right. The truth. Earl Spence got in and say, hey, look, let's unify these titles next year, which I can't wait. Now, I would like to see how Earl Spence fight Sean Porter. Now, I have a few ideas how he can get around that rugged football type. He tried to fight on the outside, Sean Porter did tonight. It just wasn't going his way. He's just not a technical fighter. For anybody out there that likes Sean Porter, that's great. I don't have a problem with that. But don't ever tell me Sean Porter is a technical fighter or he can fight technical. No, he can't. He can fight a technical fight for about 2 rounds. And that didn't work very well. We all seen that. We all seen how he fought the first round. Right before the bell, Danny hit him with a thunderous shot. So, guess what? He went back to the old ways. He started fighting just like always. Always roughing you up in your heart, trying to pin you against the ropes because, you know, he put that hook around your arm and trying to basically push you back. Now, Danny was ready for that. He had his defense tight, you know, for the inside. Now, I can see in Danny's face, he did not want to lose that fight tonight. And I had Danny Garcia winning that fight tonight. Now, I was right on a couple of things, but as a prediction, I was wrong. You know, KQKC Boxing will admit when he's wrong, and I was wrong. Sean Porter pulled it out. But I will say this. It was a good fight, better than I expected. It was a close fight until the later rounds. Let me put it that way. Porter just outworked Danny. I mean, what can you basically say? Danny Garcia is a technical fighter. He's been fighting all his life. He hasn't fought many opponents that fight that rough style. Now, what Danny should have done was, you rough me up, I'm going to rough your ass up. just like Cal Brook did with Sean Porter when he came over and took the IBF from him over in California. I believe it was at the StubHub. And Cal Brook said, no more of that. You know, basically, I'm not going to stand for this shit no more. And you know what? That's when he started roughing him up too. Then next thing you know, he won the championship. And as I always say, the WBC is the most prestigious belt and the most history-making belt out there. And that was echoed tonight by Sean Porter. That's why I don't and never will understand why Anthony Joshua don't want that WC belt. But we all get it, you know. We all get it, you know. But Danny Garcia, he did a good job tonight. He kept off the ropes. He kept Sean Porter at bay without coming in rushing. Now, he only suffered 2 headbutts, which is pretty normal for a fight against Sean Porter. Now, does he deserve to win? I don't think he should have. Because the type of style Sean Porter fight, he wins by hustling you. That's the only way he wins. He wins by hustling. Now, only way he can beat you technically wise is no way. Because he doesn't have no technical skills. I try to tell everybody that. Yes, he won tonight. Congratulations to Sean Porter. Congratulations to K. Diddy, his father. But I still say that Danny Garcia is a better fighter as far as an all-around better fighter. Now I'm going to break the fight down to you. Now, as I mentioned, round 1 is basically filling out round like always. Sean Porter, he tried to fight technicals. He tried to fight on the outside, which did not work very good in his favor. As I mentioned, he got hit with a thunderous blow right before the bell of the first round. Second round, he still tried to box a little technical, you know, work the jab, work behind the jab, 1-2. You know, it just didn't work out for him. He's just not a technical fighter. Then come round 3. And that's when Danny Garcia got overwhelmed because Sean Porter came out his usual, I'll call it football/boxing style, because that's how he fight. Now, he missed a lot of shots, but his hustle, his tenacity was like out of this world tonight. He was so hyped up that I was like, man, what the hell? I mean, Danny couldn't handle him. I'm sorry. Danny is a short fighter, but he's a strong fighter. He's an all-around great fighter. But Sean Porter just out-hustled tonight. And you know what? Kudos to Sean Porter. I mean, the fight was better than I thought it would be. Starting off in the first round, it was more exciting in the later rounds because Danny Garcia did win a few rounds, but I think the score was a little bit off because I think the score should have been a little bit closer. I think Danny Garcia won more fights, more rounds than they gave him credit for. And that's the second loss of Danny Garcia's career. And who knows where he goes from here. Will he have to start over? I don't know. He made a lot of money. He always came through as an underdog. I don't know if they have a rematch clause or not. I'm not for sure. But the way it sounded out the fight when they said that, hey, what about getting in with Earl Spence. And Earl Spence, next thing you know, he steps into the ring. Now, for all you that don't understand this, you have to have approval to go inside that ring. Now, this is KQKC telling you the truth about that. I got that from a source that's close to Al Heyman. And I'm not going to sit here and pretty much tell you fibs. You know, like I say, I would say allegedly, but I know for sure that you have to have permission to walk in that ring. I don't care you're a fighter. I don't care you Denzel Washington. I don't care you Beyonce. You got to have permission to walk in that ring when another fighter is fighting or just got through fighting, because they have security all around that ring. And you have to have special permission to go in. And of course, they want to promote the fight for next year. So that's what they did. So they invited him in. So that's what he did. And you know what? It's just so funny that Earl Spence, you know, he's a great fighter, and he do want to prove that he's the best welterweight, and he do want to unify, and he's making some money. But he got that southern drawl that reminds me of my cousin, and it just cracks the hell up out of me. But hey, he's a good guy. You know, everybody act mature in the audience except that damn Adrian Broner. He's an asshole. I'm sorry, but he is. But getting back to the fight. I mean, the fight was a pretty much went like I went. They both had different styles. One was a boxer. One was a brawler. Okay? Now, what I did was I took notes on the fight. You know, KQKC, like I say, I like to give it to you straight. So if I can't remember something, I'm going to write it down. But I remember putting a circle around this. Sean Porter activity level was over 100. That means that he was so hyped up that, I mean, Danny just couldn't handle it. So, but they took turns winning rounds. And you know what? Kudos to Sean Porter, as I mentioned. Now, I will go into detail about the fight tomorrow. I know it's late. I'm on Central Time. I don't know the time my followers are subscribers are on, but I will go in detail about the fight and in a press conference also, because I haven't had the press conference yet, and I'm making the video. But I just want to run down all three fights, just in case a lot of people don't have Showtime or did not see the fights. Okay, you know, we had Charles Sir Martin. He was in a 10-round fight against Konecki. Now, Konecki is a Polish American. Now, he's 18-0. Well, he's 19-0 now, actually. He beat Charles Martin. Yeah. Martin, for some reason, he wants to be recognized as one of the upper echelon heavyweights. But he did not show me shit tonight. No, he didn't. I mean, he had one of the Mayweathers in his corner, but that really didn't help his camp. Because, sure, he's a southpaw, and the southpaw always supposed to have that edge. At least that's what they say. But if you know how to fight a southpaw like Jermell Charlo, he worked his jab just like any orthodox fighter. But for some reason, Charles Martin, he was just doing like what you call get out the way punches. That's how I put it. Get out the way punches. That's what he was throwing. It was like big boy. That's what I call him, Kanaki. No disrespect, but he just kept coming. I mean, just kept coming. You know, I saw him in a press conference. I said, wow, this guy look like he can't even fight. He like he's overweight, which he doesn't have a frame. He's no Deontay Wilder. He doesn't have a six-pack. He doesn't have a muscles in his arms. No, he don't have none of that. But what he does have, he has power. And what he can do, he can take a punch. Now, Charles Martin did connect on a few hits down the pipe. But the shit, it didn't phase him. It didn't phase Kaneki. Kaneki kept coming forward. And guess what? Charles Martin was too overwhelmed by him. Sure, he finished the fight with a bruised eye. But this young cat, he did what he had to do. Now, if anybody out there listening right now, man, leave a comment, you know, and I will recognize and answer it. I don't have a problem with that. But that was the first fight on the list. And like I said, Martin versus Kaneki. And Kaneki came out the winner, of course. And this guy, he kept going forward. He kept going forward. I mean, he did not take no for an answer. Let me put it that way. It didn't matter. It was a 10-round fight. And but I'm gonna tell you this. Both fighters did pretty good body work. Now I will give them that. Okay? Both fighters did pretty good body work. But Kaneki's body work was a little heavier than Charles Martin. Now, Charles Martin got a habit of leaning forward. He's susceptible to an uppercut. Why? I don't know why he does that. He cannot do that against, well, he already got knocked out by Joshua. Well, you can't do that against a Deontay Wilder. You can't even do that against a Dominic Brazil or a Big Baby Miller. You know, you susceptible to an uppercut. And I'm talking about many. I mean, he did this all through the fight. Like I say, it's a 10-round fight. And he only had the title for just a very short time before Anthony Joshua knocked him out. After that, I believe he got shot or something like that. And, you know, he just had a hard career thus far. So I guess he got with TMT or Al Heyman and try to revitalize his career. So that was the first fight. Now, let me get to the second fight. And we know who that was. That was Dennis Ugas. He was fighting Baronero. Now, he's from Mexico. It was the first time fighting in the United States. Now, it was a 12-round fight, welterweight fight. Nuevo, I think it's record 34-4, 34-3. And Ugas, he's one of the up-and-coming welterweights. Now, he took off of boxing for a couple of years, but he came back and, man, won 7 in a row. And he's very technical. And he was working that body. And he doesn't buy into that Cuban-style fighting. He fought, I believe, 2 years on the farm. And he's a bronze medalist from the Olympics for Cuba. And one of the great Cuban managers managed him. The same one that managed Bartholomew and also Castro Mayor when he was younger. So Ugas is now 24-3. And that was a title eliminator also, that fight. You know, Ugas did what he did. He worked the body. Then once he figured out that he hurt Baroneros with that body shot, and we talking about early in the first and second round, that's all he did. That's all he did. He went straight to the body. All 12 rounds. Now, I have to admit, he could have got the knockout. But this guy, he was very so irky jerky, where it's hard to time him. You know, someone like a Sean Porter that, you know, stomp on the floor, bam, bam. You know, it's supposed to be a feint, but you know, everybody got that number. But anyway, this Mexican dude, he will not take no for an answer. I mean, he was getting, you know, pretty much beat up, but he kept coming. He wouldn't quit. I mean, hell, this is his debut. You know, he's under the camera, the lights. First time in America. First time fighting in America. So hell, he gonna last as long as he can. Okay, yeah, I'm getting fucked up, but now I'm fighting. I'm still here, and I get a paycheck. And the paycheck probably more than his whole family made in a year in Mexico. So, but like I said, Mexico, they fight 100 fights a year, and they still don't have that technical style like Julio Cesar Chavez, senior, not junior, because he is terrible. I'm talking about senior. He was a great fighter, and hell, I think he had like 56 some fights. No, he won 56 and lost maybe about 4. But that was the co-main event. And you're going to hear a lot about you guys, Dennis you guys, because he's on a mission. He's going to keep moving up. And one of the welterweights going to fight for eliminator with him. Now, tonight was an eliminator. Now, they didn't say what the eliminator was for. Now, that's what I understand. Normally, when you fight for eliminator, the winner usually come out as the mandatory to someone that holds a belt. Now, they did not say who he's a mandatory to. Now, maybe I'll find out next couple of days or so. Or maybe I'll find out in the press conference. Because I am doing this live, and I'm doing this right after the fight went off. Matter of fact, they even haven't went to the press conference. And they don't show the press conference on cable anyway. They do that on live streaming. But I will tell you this. All 3 fights were great. Now, if you have cable or if you have the internet, you should have went to Showtime streaming. They have great fights on before the 3 main fights. See, that's what I like about PBC and Showtime. They give fighters a chance that's don't have the big names, don't have the big contracts, but they trying to make their bones in boxing. So, therefore, I like it. You know, I mean, I really like how they do their streaming of the up and coming fighters. You know, that's great. You know, they had a woman fighter on there tonight. They had the young lady from Brooklyn. She's from Puerto Rico originally, Serrano. She broke the record as far as the 6th title win for a woman. Next, well, for any boxer. She's tied with Oscar De La Hoya. And I forgot the other one name. Oscar De La Hoya and someone else. 6 world titles they won. In different weight classes. Let me make that clear. But overall, I hope everyone enjoyed the fight tonight. It was a good fight. All 3 fights. Well, no, I'm not going to lie. Hey, KQKC got to keep it real. Only 2 fights was decided. The main event and the co-main event, I would call it. Because you guys and Baron Elbow, that was just pretty much a shutout. You know. And like Steve Fatherhood said, there's no mercy rule in boxing. You know, hey, my man was down 10 rounds to nothing. But hey, he didn't knock him out, so he said, you got to keep on fighting to the 12th round. But once again, Sean Porter beats Danny Garcia. Good fight, great action, a lot of stars, a lot of boxers out there. You had Keith Thurman. He was the commentator on the live stream earlier before the main fights. And you had Jerry Hurd out there. You had the Charlos, Adrian Broner, Javante Davis, Tank, and you had Boomer Esiason. NFL football season now, baby. So, hey, it is what it is, and this is what I'm trying to tell everybody. These are the guys, the people I just named, and many more, that pay big bucks to sit closer to the ring or to get down on that type of floor. That's what I'm trying to explain to the UK people. When will they understand? Those don't cost $60. Okay, those are big bucks seats. And to get to that second level, those still cost more than $60. Then to get to that next level, there's not a place in that building that costs $60. I mean, I just have to be honest. And that's why you can't fit 90,000 people in these venues, because boxing is not that big in America. I'm not going to keep on saying it to the UK people. I don't understand why they don't understand that. But anyway, we talking about this American fight tonight, and that's Sean Porter defeats Danny Garcia. Now, Danny Garcia, he was gracious in defeat. Sean Porter didn't rub his nose in it, but now somebody got to take it from him, because K. Diddy, he's going to really be talking shit now. And I understand Sean Porter won. I'm not hating on Sean, not one bit. Congratulations to him. And I hope he have a lot of success carrying the belt. But one thing I have to say, he is not a technical fighter. I don't think he should have won. And number two, no, I take that back. No, he should have won because he was the busier fighter. And he threw more punches. If I'm not mistaken, they said he threw 277 punches. More than Danny Garcia. Now that's busy. That's very busy. It doesn't matter. Now Danny was the more accuracy. But Porter was the more busier. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But the judge is seeing it a different way. So you can be busy, but you don't score. See what I'm saying? But in the judge's eyes, they seeing you very active and pushing him back and making him whatever it might be, or whatever the case might be. But, it's kind of like in a funny way. It's boxing, I think, hey, if you throw 277 punches, I'm using this as an example. No, let me do this. If you throw 300 punches, okay, but your accuracy is very low, but your opponent throws only 100 punches, but his accuracy is very high. Now, how would you score that? And what would you say? Who would you say is the winner? See what I'm saying? That's how they judge tonight's fight. So, some brilliant ass judge, which it was a unanimous decision, all three feel that the one that threw the most punches, the accuracy, it didn't matter. The one who's the busiest fighter should be the winner. That's how the judges looked at it tonight. But me personally, I would take everything in account. Was he busy? How accurate was he? How many punches did he throw? Now, if you're busy and you're very accurate, and your opponent is busy but not accurate, how would you look at that? You see what I'm saying? See, KQKC. Look, I know boxing, but I don't know how these judges be judging. You know, we all been on the end of some bad decisions. I mean, not on the end, but we have seen fighters be on the end of bad decisions. And Danny Garcia, he had a couple. He should have lost that fight in Puerto Rico. He should have lost that fight with Lamont Peterson. He should have 4 losses on his record. But it is what it is. He was a favorite in Puerto Rico. He was the loved Puerto Rican child versus the Mexican child. And Lamont Peterson, hey, he just was a favorite. So, therefore, I got to keep it real, you know. And Sean Porter did a hell of a job tonight. You know, I have to give it to him. He did. You know, like I say, he's not my favorite fighter. You know, I still have a problem with leading with your head. Matter of fact, Angel Garcia said he had mentioned that to the referee. We all know how the referee goes in both fighters' dressing room before the fight and really run down the rules and do's and don'ts. So Angel said, hey, look, watch out for the headbutts. Watch out for him leading with his head, you know. And Sean tried not to do that way. He tried to, you know, box on the outside, and that just didn't work for him. He just don't have that technique in him. His technique is I keep on saying football/boxing. That's Sean Porter. That's the Sean Porter. Now, how can you stop somebody like that? Only way you can stop somebody like that is fight like Keith Thurman fought him. You got to try to hit him with the blows. You got to stay moving. See, Keith Thurman is more athletic than Danny Garcia. And Sean Porter was chasing Keith Thurman down. But Keith Thurman throws blows all his career. That's all he did. Throw big punches. And one gonna land, and one gonna get your eye open, especially the judges. And that's what happened to Sean Porter, as Keith was playing tonight on the stream, Showtime stream. Hey, when I hit Sean Porter with that thunderous blow, man, he hugged me like a bear and wouldn't let go. That means he was hurt. Danny, he's a technical fighter. He didn't want to sit there and throw blows. He don't swing fast like that. Yeah, he's a harder hitter. He got a strength in his left hand, but you know, he didn't get a chance to use it because Sean was all over him. And he had his defense tight on the inside, but from a distance, even from the side of the ring, you pretty much can see that it looked like he's getting overwhelmed. You know, by me looking at the TV, it's like, you know, until they go to the preview or the rerun of the round, you wouldn't think that Danny Garcia was protecting himself once he got in the inside. But he was. But Danny was trying to keep his defense so tight that he had a problem. He had a big problem with fighting him from the inside. So, of course, Danny was going to try to fight him on the outside. That didn't work. So, you know, Danny just had to be creative. I think his game plan pretty much went out the window by the 4th or 5th round. because what he was doing, because his game plan was catch him as he coming in, because Sean Porter like to make fights sloppy, football, that type of style. So his game plan was to catch him as he coming in. But he did get off a couple shots in the head because Sean Porter was bending down so much. I think he would have been better off using an uppercut. But I understand he was using his right to protect his right head. So therefore, he couldn't use the uppercut unless he used the uppercut with his left hand. Because Sean Porter was bending down so much, but he was working himself in. And then Garcia started bending down. And Sean started hitting him on the back, kidney shots. But to me, Sean Porter was the busier fighter. Sean Porter threw 277 more punches than Danny Garcia. But Danny Garcia was a more accurate puncher. So the judges was like, hey, do we go with the accurate puncher or do we go with the busier fighter? So they went with the busier fighter and the one who threw the most punches, and that was Sean Porter. And you know what? That's how it should be. That's how you judge a fight. So no matter how I view Sean Porter and his style of fighting, he did deserve to win the fight tonight. Now, Danny Garcia, he's still a good fighter. He's still a technical fighter. He's still an accurate fighter. But tonight, he was a defeated fighter. That's what I have to say. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. So, now, let's get to the aftermath. Other words, the post-fight interview. Well, Sean Porter, of course, thanking his father and this and that, blah, 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 blah. Now, he want to know, Steve Gray, he want to know, hey, what you see in the future? Because we got Earl Spence coming in right now. Earl Spence jumped up in the ring and said, hey, look here. And again, I'm going to tell you, you have to have special permission to get up in that ring. Can no one just walk up in that ring without being invited or allowed to go in that ring? Security don't want no one in there that doesn't belong to one of the camps, especially after a fight. Because things pop off and things can happen. But I don't know, was it for the cameras or to promote the fight? But I don't think Sean Porter is going to be fighting Earl Spence next year. I just don't think so. Now, they will stall, maybe, but they need to make that a unification fight. Give us fans the fights we want to see. Now that PBC / Al Heyman get this deal going, got a lot more bread in the bank, man, we should have a nice fight damn near every week. That's how I feel about it. And he got the best stable in the world to me. I mean, he got nothing but champions. See, that's what I like. So they say, hey, I like your father. Earl's a very respectful guy. Very respectful. He's not an Adrian Broner that's going to give you the finger like he did tonight again. He's a very respectful fighter. And like he said, let's get it on. Let's unify these titles. I'm the IBF welterweight champion. I think I'm the best welterweight in the world. Let's do it. And Sean Porter said, you think I'm worried? Yeah, you worried. That's just for the camera. You worried. Because you was worried before you got in the fight with the ring with Danny Garcia. Or maybe you was nervous, maybe. I don't know. But that's the fight we like to see. Now, Keith Thurman, all of a sudden, he want to call out everybody. Well, that's because he want to get back into the groove. Well, you blew that. You blew that, Keith. Keith, you should have stepped up there before Earl did. If you would have, been a man. and fought Sean on the rematch. But that was then, this is now. So right now, we talking about Earl Spence, Bud Crawford, and now, unfortunately, Sean Porter. And why I say unfortunately, because I just don't care for that style of fight. I like boxing, the sweet science. And when you take that sweet science and turn it into a awkward, kind of like Raggedy type style of fighting, more of a wrestling MMA slash boxing style, I don't care for it very much. No, I'm not saying he's a bad guy or anything, but they should have caught and corrected it at the beginning of his career, which they didn't do. So, therefore, hopefully, we can see a unification fight between Sean Porter and Earl Spence. Now, will it happen? I don't know. Like everybody say, styles make fights. Now, I'm very curious. I am. I'm very curious to see how do Earl Spence stop Sean Porter from running in on him. Now, I know Earl Spence is young and he can do a better job than Danny Garcia stopping him from running in. Now, I know that. But only time would tell. And I really believe that Team Porter is not going to fight Earl Spence, no matter what they said tonight. I don't think that's going to happen. That's me, KQKC personally opinion. Now, I will tell you this. I did enjoy the fights tonight. I did enjoy the fights on Showtime Stream. KQKC just like to relax and enjoy fights, and that's how it should be. Now, I will be reiterating the fight tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a video on the fights in detail, pretty much round for round. Basically, most rounds was like give and take. You know, Danny won the first round, Sean won the second. Danny won the third, Sean won the fourth. Then Sean won the fifth, sixth, and seventh. Then Danny won the eighth. Then Danny won the ninth. Then Sean basically won the last two. That's how I scored. Now the judges had a little wider than that. How? I don't know. Like I say, I don't know what the judges be looking at. Or, I mean, Floyd Mayweather was right a couple years back. Maybe you need some new judges. Because a lot of judges are older. And a lot of judges don't score like other judges. Look at Adelaide Bird. And she's still judging. She judged Alexander fight with Berto. So, anyway, KQKC always tell you the truth. And the truth is, hey, Sean Porter pulled it out tonight. So, anyway, I will be doing a video tomorrow on the fights that happened today. Now, this is KQKC Boxing Channel. If you would like where I'm going with this new channel, I need your subscription. And also ring that icon bell. And you get notified each and every time I do a video. And also, if you like the fights tonight, man, hit that like button. Let me know you like the fights. And without that, man, I'm going to see you on the next video. Like always, peace and love.